getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is a Wednesday edition of the Bottom Line. You've got us on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Clint Scott joined by Texas Tech Minister of Culture himself, Captain Snead. J6 Mafia behind the glass, taking care of us. Going all the way up to 3 o'clock today. Some live and local coverage headed your way today at 3 o'clock on Double T 97.3. It's Tech Talk. At 6:30 on Double T 97.3. Game 4 Astros at Phillies. Phillies opening up a can last night on Houston. Looking to even the series tonight are the Stros, trying to make it 2-2. Right here on 100.7 The Score at 7 o'clock. It is the high school fan zone. The Friendship Tigers at 7. The Pirates of Lubbock Cooper at 7:30. How much have you taken in all the World Series?
I watched last night. I actually I had a basketball scrimmage over at Cooper last night. Did that, and I got home in time to watch from about the third inning on. Mm-hmm. Got to see a couple of the home runs. Actually, no. I got to see one of the home runs. One that made it 7-0. So, really, I mean, this might just be the toughest time for the Phillies or the Astros running into the hottest team in baseball at the hottest time right now. They're and the Astros who really have been somewhat pedestrian offensively in the postseason. They're running into a team that's kind of a buzzsaw at this time, and they could end up being like the New York Mets and the Royals here. So this is kind of a sad situation, but Astros they're probably the best team in baseball, and they're probably going to lose the World Series to the hottest team in baseball, and it's kind of the way that baseball goes. You don't necessarily the best team doesn't always win it every year.
This is always the type of matchup that if I was a serious bettor, I'd have a really, really hard time because, as you mentioned, you've seen several examples of this. I mean, not around 90-win team, not the number one over, certainly not the most talented top to bottom roster. You can point out all the holes compared to what the better team may have, and you just catch them at the exact wrong time. Now I'm not calling a shot for the Phillies to win. I still think that the Astros win this. I do think it goes to 7, though. I'm hoping it goes to 7, especially since I really have no connection in there either way. I just enjoy at a certain point seeing a good series.
A good Game 7 is in baseball. I think hockey Game 7s are actually a little bit more special than baseball Game 7, and really. That goes because a hockey Game 7 is going to go. It always seems to go to extra periods, and that whole sudden death feel of a 7th game. When you see a lot of those, and it's great to watch those happen. And I've spent many a night staying up way past my bedtime to watch a 7th game. Gary Thorne, for the win.
Mm-hmm. There's something, and I think it also helps just from where the professional sports rank. That's a part of the reason why I like the NFL playoffs so much. Obviously, you can't play like be the most ridiculous playoffs. Hey, Steelers, and hey, Colts, you're going to play a best of 5 series to see who goes on to the next round of playoffs. Yeah. Have a good time, and good luck with all the injuries. But there's something about the one and done. Part of the reason why March Madness is so great too. I think you take one bad performance, even if you're a Kentucky and you're staring down the Peacocks, and
yeah. I mean,
peace out.
That's kind of what makes it special is that it's everyone gets their shot, and
one shining moment.
Yeah, and then every year you've got that team that rises out of nowhere. You get the Loyola Chicagos that roll out of nowhere. The UMBC Retrievers get a couple rounds deep. And then of course the Peacocks. What was that? St. Peter's.
Yes.
The Peacocks get a couple rounds deep, and everyone gets in. They all love to pick that 15 versus 2 just so they can have it and on their deal. But then they're like, if they get a second win, everyone's looking, where can I get a St. Peter's T-shirt?
Yeah. I like a school that is stuck with me forever, Florida Gulf Coast.
FGCU.
Dunkerversity.
Yeah.
Whatever they were going with that. I mean, they were, I think they got knocked out in the Sweet
Dunk
16,
you,
but.
Dunk you very much. Is that
yeah,
what it was?
all of that. And he just throwing it down. Coming out of, honestly, had never really heard of Florida Gulf Coast University before that.
The funny thing about Florida Gulf Coast is that right about the time that they were really cranking it up in basketball, we were playing them in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they came up here for a midweek, a kind of a random midweek where, Florida Gulf Coast comes up here and they just got worked for 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I don't think that their coach ever wants to come back here again. But, I mean, I don't think it had anything to do with them getting worked.
Mm-hmm.
I know they came and played basketball one year.
Mm-hmm.
This is before they were actually Dunk City or whatever.
Running through a tournament and,
yeah,
as you mentioned, making everyone wanting to go get a Florida Gulf Coast hat, shirt, jersey. Sure.
They're in Tampa too, right? Is that what they are? Is that correct?
That would be my guess, but I don't know. I certainly know they're in Florida. I got that. Don't worry. We get this on the Ace Flooring Center chat line. Come on, Steve. I need you to be fiery.
Fort Myers.
No, apparently that shtick is it wears on some people. So sorry.
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers. That's down there. Fort Myers is where the Boston Red Sox winter home was or used to be. I think it still is.
We get this on the chat line. Clint wants Snead to throw a flag. I did. I wanted you to throw a flag. Strong will. Strong will from Captain Sneederoo. Patrick says, sad Snead today. He's very disappointed.
No,
play the sad puppy commercial song in the arms of an angel.
If somebody is so worried that I'm gonna boast and brag, all right, okay, well, I tell you what, I won't.
Juan's got your back. Snead haters gonna hate.
I'm not worried about that. I really don't.
No, don't change, Snead. I intentionally take my lunch break at 12 to get Snead radio.
Yeah.
We also get a flower in the AC. I might try that one on my wife. I agree. Containing Duggan is key. Tech can't let his running get them out of third and long situations. So I think, of all the surprises, Snead, of the Big 12.
Yeah.
I was just TCU being where they are at record wise right now is a big surprise. But to me, and it's part of what it started with, is the evolution of Max Duggan essentially going from a one conventional or just a one trick pony. It's funny because ponies are right across the way. They're in the DFW area. That he's really developed his arm, really developed decision making. Because it seemed like the strategy against TCU, and you saw it in that stretch that they went last year, unfortunately, after running all over you here in Lubbock. And you knew this about him because he's played a lot of football, so you've had several different looks at him. You contain him, you make him throw it deep, he makes poor decisions in the air, and you get picks, and you stop TCU's offense. But that hasn't been the case this year.
Yeah. This is a different TCU team than was expected, and it's safe to say nobody saw this team coming, and I think people that if people like me who just naturally thought that first year coach, struggling team, got rid of their icon head coach, you didn't see this quickly changing of a culture. And what Sonny Dykes did was brought in, he worked the transfer portal pretty hard, and he filled some holes quickly. Now did he do that? And he's got a couple of good quality freshmen as well. And mm-hmm. TCU is always going to recruit well, simply based on geography. But they were able to fill some holes quickly, and because of that, they were able to get themselves righted quickly. And I think that they're doing what many people had hoped, or somewhat close to what would hope that would happen with Texas Tech. It's gonna take Texas Tech a few more years. Texas Tech was a little bit further away from being what TCU is and could be.
Yeah, and you look at this TCU team, and I think there's something to that they've caught a few breaks, but you still have to go win those games, right?
Yeah.
And offensively, something else that they've shown is they have a true three-headed monster with Duggan, with their wide receiver Quentin Johnson. That dude's going to play on Sundays. And I think what Kendre Miller has done at the running back spot has gone a little under the radar because he's the second leading rusher in the conference right now. Since conference play has hit, he's right behind Bijan Robinson, which is something I didn't expect. So, I mean, all sorts of things you're trying to stop on Saturday. And again, I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but it's a winnable ball game. All of those things being said.
We'd be kidding ourselves to think that we wouldn't be able to win this game, but that's why they play the games.
More of the bottom line on 100.7 The Score next.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hour number 2 of the bottom line. You've got us on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Clint Scott now joined by Lil Crouton himself, Mr. Jamie Lynn. What would be your, I don't even know what to call them, like sounders? Whenever you come in and they're like, Jason Derulo, what would your Lil Crouton be?
I think there would be a wiggity.
But you still got to say your name too, right?
Little crouton. Wiggity. Would be very serious.
Wah, 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 wah. Jackson Frazier behind the glass, taking care of us. Yeah. Lil Crouton's third album, All Business, coming out this Christmas.
Business. Please
Business.
say it right.
Sorry, I apologize. Hey, the Benchmark Hotline's open for you. 806-771-0973. You're going to hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Thoughts, comments, questions, all that welcome there. Hopes, dreams. We'll take it all. Don't forget you can take us anywhere with the mobile apps brought to you by Happy State Bank. We are live from the 100.7 The Score First United Bank Studios. Live and local coverage today. Of course, you have us up until 3 o'clock. If you want to continue that, switch over to Double T 97.3 at that time for Tech Talk. At 6:30 on Double T 97.3, Game 4. The Astros try to tie the series back up, falling 7-0 yesterday in Game 3. Right here on 100.7 The Score, it is the high school fan zone at 7. It's Friendship at 7:30, Lubbock Cooper. We get this right off the bat. Jamie, how surprised would you be with a Red Raider win this weekend? If you win, I think you crack the top 25 at number 25.
I think you'd get close to the top 25, but I don't think you'd get there, just because your record's going to be 5-4 at that point, and you're coming off a loss, although it was closer than that, but 45-17 to a Baylor team that was unranked, right?
Yeah, and you were a favorite.
Yeah.
I think even if you blew out TCU, I think the highest you would see is in the receiving votes for category. Yeah, I agree. I would be floored if you were ranked. And I do think, as much as I would love to see that, you would have a bunch of other teams with legitimate gripes that you had been ranked before then, strictly because of the record.
Sure.
We get this. Phillies fans are the worst. No respect for baseball. Is that true? I haven't really paid attention to the fans, I'll be honest.
What?
Is it just because they're from Philadelphia, or have they done? What did you do, Jackson?
Well, they're just people from Philadelphia, and so we just assume that they're the worst, right?
Right. I mean, I certainly do. I'm like, anyone that's a fan of a Philadelphia-based team is just the worst. Can't stand to be around them.
Nope.
Arrogant.
Would never let them date your daughter.
Never. Never.
I just saw on the screen, why is Bill Self getting suspended? Am I going to be mad about this?
This is, you ready for my terrible joke that no one wants to hear? Self-imposed sanctions by the Kansas Jayhawks Bill Self and one of his top assistants that is bunched in
For
will
what?
miss the first 4 games. This is from the long, lengthy investigation starting back in 2017. We also will have self-imposed and have done some of this offseason recruiting, just things that they can't do in recruiting, official visits, 3 scholarships, I believe, over 3 years taken away. There's supposed to be an official decision expected at the end of this season. My guess is this is it, is that the IARP, the organization that they went through for North Carolina State, for Memphis, for Kansas, for Arizona, for that long list of schools from 2017, this is essentially Kansas trying to take in the action, saying, hey, we've self-imposed some punishment. Not really a punishment. I mean, they miss Duke, and then they miss games against like Southern Utah and Omaha.
North Dakota State, and Southern Utah.
So, and then he'll be back before the Battle of Atlantis. So it's like a vacation to go take a vacation. That's essentially what it is. Now, there's still
wait, I thought Bill Self said he didn't do anything wrong. Why would he give a self-imposed suspension then?
Sorry, I'm laughing at self-imposed every time. Yeah, he said he didn't do anything wrong.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just saw that came across the screen and that piqued my interest. I didn't know if his chin strap got loose and snapped somebody in the eye or something. Didn't know.
I found out that he was actually using a hairpiece through an Adidas dealer. It came in a duffel bag.
Duffel bag full of hair pieces.
Hey, Bill, which one you want?
You ever watch that show To Catch a Smuggler?
No.
Okay, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
So they go to a lot of airports across the country, ones that are international. So flights are coming in, and they have all these creative ways to catch people who are trying to smuggle drugs into the country. It's very interesting. And they appear to be really good at their jobs. You know, they just see people walking in and they kind of can look at them and like, yeah, I want to check on this person. Okay. And anyway, one episode I saw recently, they found some person that they felt like was suspicious. They opened up his bags and it was full. He said synthetic hair. And the customs people were like, no, this is real hair. I mean, it was like a duffel bag full of real hair.
What the heck?
Like, this is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if it's illegal or not, but you are a gross human being, so get out of our country. Yeah. So, anyway, see, that's me
It's like
digressing again. I'm sorry.
opening up like the suitcase, like, what do we got here? Dog snipping away, and you zip it up, and it's just like doll heads. I'm like, all right, this isn't technically illegal, but this is really creeping me out. So,
Yeah. I've
as
seen
Jamie's ghost would say, get out.
I did see an episode where they had a doll and you broke apart the doll and there was, I don't remember what it was, cocaine or something in each part of the body.
Make sure to get your Christmas orders in now for My Little Cocaine.
And I'm just amazed at how these people, they just stand there and they're just like very nonchalant as they're going through their stuff, fully well knowing they're about to get caught. I mean, and they're serving like 8 to 10 years in jail in some foreign country. You know, Brittany Griner's walking around in the background. I mean, and everybody just seems so calm. I would be losing my mind.
I was
right?
I
would be on the floor weeping like a 2-year-old child.
I would like to think that I would be calm, cool,
I'd be
and
pointing
collected.
at Clint. He did it. It's his suitcase.
Is the FBI, TSA, all of that stuff, are they kind of like bears where you don't have to outrun the TSA, you just have to outrun your friend? That doesn't help me with you, but that's what they say. If you're going to be a cocaine smuggler, always do it with your really heavy friend. Okay. Can't move very fast.
I just want to be the guy that gets off the plane and they're like, oh, let's check this guy. He looks suspicious. I want to be that guy and be like, what about me is suspicious?
I don't know if that's a goal, because if I'm thinking the people that are like, that guy looks like he's doing something wrong, I'm like tweaking out. half of my hair is made, half of it's not, you know. I
Man,
have a suit with a lot of holes in it.
Yeah. Sorry, I got us all over the place.
No,
My,
never
totally my
apologize.
fault. My
More
bad.
Knicks on 100.7 the score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
That music means it's time for Take versus Take. You got us on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com. It is the Bottom Line. Time to find out who was a winner today and who was a loser. Allahu Zahir. I don't know if I've noticed the random guy in the background who's not a frog or robot going, break down. That was the first time I heard that. Interesting. Is that you? Is that the little crouton portion?
That was me, actually, through my voice.
Oh.
I did a little ventriloquist action. You didn't see it.
Ventriloquism.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you would smuggle? Ventriloquist dummies? You
Yes,
have a lot of
that's
dummies that work here that you could smuggle.
Yes, that's exactly what I would smuggle.
Hey, are you going to do Little Jamie this year for a broadcast?
Little Jamie.
Yeah, Little Jamie on, like, where you're doing play-by-play and Little Jamie is the color analyst?
No.
He's your hot dog guy?
No.
Like,
That
you're like, and it's 2-2 count, and like, yeah, he's really struggled at the plate today.
that was a you and Choice thing.
Well,
That is not a Jamie thing.
I think that'd be even better from Jamie.
Mm,
Hey, hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat.
you forget I mean, a stud next to me and Jeff Haxton. So why would I need little Jamie?
Well, you just get some of those early games with crossover with basketball. Like, Cam, we still want you on, but we're going to have a third person in the booth with us today.
Cam would actually be a huge fan of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to get a hold of him.
He would think that was funny.
I'm going to get a hold of Cam.
It'll give him more
somehow.
time to eat another 72-ounce steak.
You got it. You got it, little Jamie. You need to get a few bites of this.
My favorite Cam Warren broadcasting moment from last year was that Friday night game against Texas where they win on the walk-off steal of home from Wilson. I mean, in that inning, at one point I stopped talking to pitch to him, and he just like, man, this is nerve-wracking up here. I can't even talk at this point. He's like, I was never this nervous down there in the dugout. I was like, see how difficult you made it on us, Cam?
Yeah.
You know, it's so hard on us up here as the fans. You guys just get to sit down there and hang out in the dugout.
That's gold.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
something-
doesn't matter what happens down there.
He's like, way more nerve-wracking up here.
Piddling around, doing whatever you do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's jump right in. Jackson, I will ask you first. All right. You have to eat breakfast. Are you guys breakfast eaters in general?
Yeah.
I'm iffy. I go back and forth.
I like it. I just don't always eat it every day.
I love breakfast food. It's just, I know, the most important meal of the day, but I don't always partake. So you are forced to eat. So it's perfect for you because you are a breakfast eater. You're forced to eat breakfast every single day in this answer. What non-breakfast food, and I'll be the judge if it's breakfast or non-breakfast food, of course. What non-breakfast food would you eat every morning to start your day? Jackson, I'll let you go first.
Probably like some kind of like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders. Because I'm not super hungry, so I don't eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the morning. I'm really not hungry. So just like a little bit of chicken tenders just to wake me up. That sounds good. I'll be fine with that.
What's the dipping sauce? Or
Ooh.
do you have one in the morning?
In the morning, I might not go with one.
Just
I might not need that kind of.
sauceless.
Yeah, just straight chicken nugget or tender, whichever
All right.
one.
Sauceless chicky nuggies, as they say, for Jackson.
I don't think they say chicky nuggies.
Oh, yeah. Big time. The kids do.
Sometimes I think I'm doing the show with a 30-year-old Chuck Hines.
Oh, ow. Ooh. That's it. I'm shutting down.
Chicky nuggies. From Doodah. I'm going to go with... I feel like if it's breakfast, it can't be something crunchy or hard. I'm going to go with a good beef enchilada. I'm a huge fan. Had it for lunch today, as a matter of fact. I think they would be a good breakfast food.
Man, there's nothing like starting your day off with a beef enchilada. You are really in for a day. Go with the beef enchilada. Yeah. That was a very surprising answer from Jamie Lynn. He's going to win the point.
Yes.
You guys missed out on just saying cold pizza because it's the best breakfast.
No.
Oh man, the night before, and it means you get fresh pizza every night too. So no chicky nuggies do not win the point. Good answer though, Jackson. That would probably suffice if I needed it.
Michael on the Yates Flowing Center chat line says, actually, Jamie, we have a best friend who always calls them chicken nuggets, and she is 48. Chicken nuggies. Chicken nuggies.
See?
Nuggies.
See? Slang. Nugget slang.
Yeah.
Jamie, all right, you get the second question. Up 1-0. What is the best sports sound? There's a wide range of these. Got to win me over here.
The crack of the wooden bat. Not the ping of a metal bat, but the crack of a wooden bat. Oh, man, it's spectacular with good weather and you're outside. You're just chilling. You got yourself a hot dog. Clint's going to put away in just 2 bites.
Just 1 bite.
Probably got a Coca-Cola or an adult beverage. Man, you're just chilling.
Yeah.
Crack of the bat, man. It's all about it.
That's a really good answer.
I know.
All right, I'll kick it from a very confident Jamie Lynn. Had his morning enchilada.
I would have to go like the slap of the shoulder pads or like the helmets. That's just something like if you're in a game and it's loud enough that it rings through the stadium, if you're not paying attention, you look straight that way to figure out like what just happened. And it's just like, it just wakes you up, gets you all pumped up. That has to be like the number one.
This is hilarious. This would really show our little triangle of difference. Because my answer is when you're in the gym by yourself, really the first swish, you get nothing but net.
I had 2 other answers. The swish of the net or a tennis player yelling, service!
The first service of the year. Service! Tennis is finally here. Or if you're like a horse racer, like the first horse neigh. Horse season.
Actually, the opening of a can of tennis balls, and then you sniff them.
That's what we're going to do to you. I do like the smell of tennis balls. I think it's fantastic.
It's great. I mean, it like pumps you up. It gives you an extra jolt.
Jamie and I, to Mr. Grayson and Aiden, we're going to open up a can of tennis balls all over you when we hit the court because I keep hitting it out of bounds and we have to keep finding more.
Yes.
I'm going to give the nod to Jamie.
I mean,
that's my favorite part of baseball is the first part. Spring training, and I'm like, I don't really watch this much.
Yeah.
No, but there is something very, very satisfying about that. And I think that is probably a lot of people's answer.
Yeah.
All right, so Jackson, can you avoid the sweep? For Game 4 of the World Series, I'll give you any job that you want from starting pitcher to hot dog guy in the stands. Any job that you want with your skill set right now. So if you go in the field, you're not automatically just going to be some amazing outfielder. Your skill set, what job would you want in Game 4 of the World Series, which we will have on our stations over on Double T 97.3 at 6:30. Jackson, can you avoid the sweep?
I would want to be like one of the security guards right there. Because I've done it before. And as long as you're not kind of like facing cameras, you don't have to be like facing the people.
Oh, I was going to ask right where. I got you.
If you get to good spots, they just turn around and watch the game. When I was doing it for A&M, no one paid attention at all. Everyone just watched the game. And so you just get to stand there on the field and watch it and get paid while doing it.
I would like to be one of the extra umpires they hire for the postseason that goes down the right or left field line. I mean, they actually work about twice a game, and it's very, very rare that any of the calls are like super close. It's pretty easy. and they get to do cool things like stand there and then they get into a crouch and they go, they point fair, or they go foul, or they do this for a home run.
Yeah.
Hope you saw that on TV because probably wasn't as good on radio. That to me sounds fun. I mean, you're getting paid a bunch of money and you're like like twice a game maybe you're actually doing anything.
Oh man, Jamie just with a beat down today, Jackson. It was closer than it looked. Closer than it looked.
You like that? You like that?
Jackson, do you like that? Sorry,
Yeah.
Jamie wins 3-0. That's where I went.
That was brutal.
I would have went third base coach, just because in my mind I know they do more, but they don't
man,
do
that's
anything but other than like, or
There's some tough
all I wanna
decisions
do.
there though.
nah,
Yeah.
not for me. I'm sending them every single time. Baseball's already at the shortstop. You got it. Turn 3, kid.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is a Wednesday edition of The Bottom Line. You've got us on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Clint Scott with your take versus take. Winner, MVP, champion of the day. I mean, wowzers, Jamie Lent just wiped the floor with Jackson Frazier. Jackson getting shut out. How do you feel, Jackson?
I kind of just want to go home now.
That's too bad. You and the audience have an hour and 15 left with us here on The Bottom Line.
I say I did the winning. Why don't I get to go home now?
Is that the
I just-
prize? Whoa. Hey, whoa. I asked the questions. Do I get to go home? Nah, I wouldn't want
No,
to.
that would disappoint the audience. They need more of Lil Chuck.
You and Jerry fighting with both of you now. It's from Bobby Hot Dogs. The Viking smuggles canned herring into the country. Ooh. Janine sells it on the black market as her Woodman Estates salary is quite meager and she has trouble making ends meet. Everyone's got to make a few extra bucks.
Choice doesn't pay his people well.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, meager wages was correct.
Okay.
Pocket change. He pays them in pennies.
Well, should be just a joy to hang out there. Sure.
Tell that to Janine. Shelly says, asks, any plans for Cam to be back on broadcast this year? The duo of y'all cracks me up. I've actually heard a solid no. It will be Jamie and Lil Jamie. We're very sorry to break the news to you.
I don't know the specifics to answer that question yet. I assume so. I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, when Hax is not available, I'm either Gus or Cam will babysit me.
Yeah, I do agree, though. You and Wham Bam Thank You Cam are just a hilarious duo. I love it. I still like Kevin McCullough. I do not want them to win, but he is not on my mind. I completely misunderstand his logic. Hashtag wreck 'em. Hashtag wreck 'em all. Bullfighter.
I don't want anything. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want anything bad to happen to his life. I don't want he or his team to have any success.
One of us wants him and his team to have success.
Yep.
But I get it.
Was I supposed to comment there?
Yep. Nope. I'm just kind of putting a bookend right there.
Okay. All right. Good.
Just right there. And there's the bookend. Right there. Here's the end of the sentence. Right there. Moving on. Bullfighter says, who has bigger ears? Clint the monster on American Horror Story. That is... Somehow the Taylor Swift one was more terrifying than that picture. Or Jackson. Old big ears. I'm about to take off with those things. Just watch out for the runway. It's going to be like me sending a bass rider to a plane. You better have flames coming from your heels if you want to take off, Jackson.
What did you do to deserve all this today, Jackson? First the sweep.
I don't know. It's
We're
just
ragging
going
on your
downhill
Philly
real
people.
quick.
Yeah.
This last
Now-
hour and a half's just been
Now we're back on
plummeting.
your ears.
Well, it's hard not to be. You take a step any direction and you're on them.
Plenty of room.
We get this. Start the day with cold pizza and warm beer for champions.
I don't know why you would ever eat cold pizza if you have to. It's just, to me, it's so much better hot.
Well, see, that's the joy is for me, you have to get 2 pizzas because the first one's not surviving. But you have the pizza that you eat fresh that night.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something just simple and easy, relaxed about not having to go through all the semantics of pretending like you wanted it microwaved or ovened or have seen like the pan seared where you can rebate. However, insert heating mechanism here. Put it on a stick and over an open flame. I don't know. There's just something leisurely about eating cold pizza. It's relaxing.
Is it?
It's like a spa day. It's like a spa for your mouth. That's what they say.
So given the option right there in your house, you have heating instruments, you're going to eat it cold.
And these are heating instruments that I know won't lock me out and make fun of me as they do it.
Yes.
Yes.
Jackson,
I'm
you
going
the
to
same
eat the
way?
cold pizza.
I think Chuck would agree with you guys too.
What I usually do is I'll like heat up one, and while that one's heating up, I'll eat a cold one.
That's a good move. Actually, but with the amount you heated up, you really have time for 2, am I right? Like,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You get the best of both worlds
Heat up
doing
one
that.
pizza or just
Like a
one
slice.
Okay. Confused.
By the time I'm completely baking a whole pizza from scratch, I've eaten 2 that I've ordered. That's funny.
Yeah.
We get a pizza. Why can't breakfast be hard or crunchy, little crouton?
I don't know. I just feel like your mouth needs to ease into the day, right? I mean, it doesn't need anything extremely hard or, could poke
Not
you or
like
something.
cereal.
That's why you put milk on it to kind of chill it out.
Doesn't work for
Literally.
Cap'n. Doesn't work for Cap'n Crunch.
That's fair.
Fiberglass. That's the most delicious pain I've ever had.
Yes, no doubt.
Worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Jerry says, "Good show, Jamie and Little Chuck." LOL. Jerry has just been banned from the chat line. I don't know what happened. Amy, do you have a question for us?
Sure.
Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score is presented by Bizarre Solutions. Call them today for a free cybersecurity audit.
Who's Dimitrov? Is he mayor of the Dimsdale Dimitrov?
He's Dimitrov.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I like Dimitrov better. Sorry, got distracted.
Okay. My question for you today is Red Raider football related. I want you, and this can go a variety of different ways, and it can go positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give me the biggest surprise about this year's Red Raider football season so far through 8 games. Could be a player, could be a coach, it could be a style, it could be the color of our uniforms. I mean, whatever. Be creative, Clint.
Let's all get creative. I would say, if I'm being real, the biggest surprise to me was through the first 6 games, the unit that you felt really good about was your defense. And it was mostly when I'm looking through the early stretch of North Carolina State, Kansas State, and Texas, Houston, all of that. I didn't think you were going to be just terrible defensively, but I certainly had it as a question mark. And if you had told me one unit was outperforming the other, and to me, through the first 4 or 5 games, it was pretty clear which one was playing better and more consistently, I probably would have guessed the offense, right? I would have guessed, okay, you're reaching the 50 burgers, you're off and running, your tight ends are being used, you have a quarterback who has taken off, and whoever won the battle is just playing lights out. And all of the receivers have just had, everything in my mind would have been offense, offense, offense. Has the defense been perfect? No, but it kept you in some of those losses early on and played lights out at times.
Sure.
And showed backbone. I thought you saw significant steps on that side of the ball. Pleasantly surprised by. A lot of room to go, but there was a lot of positives that you can pull from your defense this year.
Jack's home.
Probably my biggest surprise is it just feels like an instant kind of buy-in and attitude, culture type change. I know that was talked about so much over the offseason, but you can really see it in the games. I think
It's like every coaching staff in the history of ever has talked about it.
But
it does feel like this time there is something to it.
Yeah, it feels like from game number 1, you were like, okay, this is it's the same guys that were there last year, but it just felt different. It feels so much different. It doesn't feel like they're lying down as much in bad scenarios. Like they're stepping up to the plate and like getting the opportunities when they need them and fighting all the way through the end of the game. And that's something that I wanted to see, but just how instant and how fast it felt was a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm. So if I told you through 8 games in the season, and you could have gone back to, I guess, 6, that you had started 3 different quarterbacks. But if I told you through 8 games, you're going to start all 3 of those guys, and you're still going to be 4-4 in contention to go to a bowl game, and I think in a good spot to go to a bowl game, I think that would have been a huge surprise to me. And so I know this is kind of shifting the answer or the question a little bit because we didn't know at the beginning of the season you were going to start 3 quarterbacks. But if you had told me you're going to start 3 quarterbacks, I wouldn't have guessed we'd be 4-4.
Yeah, that's a good point because you would have thought, and part of it's what happened. We would have guessed probably an injury in there, and then you would have guessed the one who stood up was not meeting expectations, which is exactly what happened.
Sure.
But if you add into the factor that you are in contention, and I mean, a great shot to make a bowl game, I would have been a little surprised.
Yeah.
No matter how good you felt about the room as a whole.
Yep.
Well, let us know what you think on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll have hour number 3 coming up next right here on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is once again time to play No Diggity. Play it at 2:15 every weekday here on the Bottom Line. You've got us on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. We being myself, Viking. He is Jimmy Clean Shoes Lent and Jackson Big Ol' Ears Frazier.
I hope everybody knows that you're kidding.
Oh,
if
I am
Jackson
not.
really did have big ears, I would not pick on him about it. Clint probably would, but
How
I
many
would
channels
not.
do you get on those dishes in there? I would not actually pick on Jackson if he had big ears. I would choose to pick on something else. Like his
Big hair?
teeny tiny little shoulders. I'm going to try to paint a picture of Jackson that just totally is not true.
Jackson, I was at the, I was doing a little iron pumping this morning. Nice. And I was thinking of you, okay? I hate, with all of my being, mirrors in gyms. So, I'm doing a little pumping, and I'm having to stare at myself into this mirror. And I thought to myself, who likes this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Who wants to see themselves sweating and struggling? I mean, the reason I'm there is because I'm chubby. I don't want to see that. Okay? Whose idea is to put mirrors there? And so I was thinking of you because I'm like, Jackson would probably actually like, yeah, I look good. Oh, look at this hair. Man, watch me. Where you lift 200 like nothing, man. And here I am struggling with 60. You know, I'm like, who wants the mirrors here? And then I'm thinking, Jackson probably would like them. Yeah.
Because
So that was a compliment to you, Jackson.
They're really
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're really supposed to be there, right? So you
Does
can
your
like
hair
watch your form and stuff, right? Make sure you're squatting correctly. But
this is like on the circuit. I mean, you can't do it wrong, really. Yeah. I mean, does your hair glisten when you get real sweaty? I mean,
No, but it's at that annoying length where it's not long enough to like put it up or anything, and it's just in my face when I work out, so I have to deal with it.
oh, sure, he's so annoyed every single time he has to like bring his head back and run his head through it. Like, before I do this set of 100 bench press of 230 pounds, I better get this natural flowing hair out of my eyes.
I'm just like, I mean, I look like I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Okay, as I'm struggling. I'm like, why? Why do I want to see that?
You know where I get into trouble? with that?
Is it bad? Is it bad form if I like walk in with a sheet and I like tape it up to the mirror and then I move to the next circuit machine, I move it over, tape it up to that one? Is that bad form? Do you think people would be against that?
Jimmy's just like, it's really cold in here. Can we put this? No, I want to see that. We should go to the gym together sometime. Not with Jackson.
Not with
Jackson will make us
Jackson.
feel bad. What I get in trouble with, like the one that I've been going to, is they have all the mirrors, but it's almost like a fun house where there's different angles of the mirror that you catch other reflections. And I'll be
so
like,
you look even bigger.
that, or because I'm a people watcher. I just am. It's fun. I can't help but notice other people's faces and the reflections. Just like, man,
See, I don't want to.
that's a struggle over there. I was like, I don't want to be doing that.
See, and people, that's what I'm looking at myself. That's a struggle over there.
Man, maybe we go down a set, huh? Maybe we drop about 10 pounds.
We dropped down to 30 pounds on the
Like-
bench press.
Ooh, we went pretty overconfident over there, didn't we? Meanwhile, I'm getting nothing done. Whatever I'm
It's just there to criticize people.
Someone just walks up. Hey, dude, you done with this machine? Like, I haven't finished my set because I haven't started. Go away.
I'm watching this guy over here. Look at him struggle.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, watch this. Watch this. Watch
I'm
this.
not even sweating over here.
Watch this. He's about one set from needing a hospital.
I don't even go over by the free weights. I mean, there's mirrors all over the place over there. And those are like legitimate real lifters. Okay. I don't want to get in one of their ways.
Just like the machines that are self-explanatory.
Yeah,
They
don't
stay in
pick
one place. You just have to pull the
pick up
pin,
this
put a new one.
huge amount of weight and you lift it and then you drop it and then you put a belt on and you grunt a little bit and
Or
and then you kiss your biceps.
God blessed me with 2 pythons and they're ready to strike. What's up? Well, how
Yeah.
much is the membership?
Yeah.
Oh. Or you go to the machine that has the pin and you have it on the very top plate and you're just pumping through there like crazy, going nuts. And before you leave, you put it down on the heaviest one. You're your turn, buddy. Try that. Up top. Don't let me high five you too hard, too swole. I rip an arm off.
But the worst part is when you sit down a machine after some, what's her name? Eleanor? The 65-year-old woman. And you're having to raise it from what she was doing, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Those are the same ones
And
that
you're
are
like
going to
saying to
destroy
yourself,
Joyce and I in
You're
tennis.
like, Eleanor's juicing. That's not real.
Eleanor's about to hit 65 this year for the Yankees. Somebody test her.
Yeah. The gym, it's an interesting place.
It really is. It really is great for people watching. Like don't be creepy with it, but
Yeah, no.
and just like also like it's astounding to watch people that are very good at it and are just very strong.
I don't watch them because they just make me feel worse about myself.
I just feel
Just
like
keep my head down.
watching like Jorgen over there just bench press 600 pounds and like, my pecs feel a little bit stronger now after watching that. Thank you. That sounds like a big Swedish guy, right?
I think it's Eleanor's son.
Ah.
Yeah.
Jorgen and his mom, Ellen Jorgen.
Yeah. Sorry, I've taken us off track again. My bad. Sorry.
No, an interesting gym discussion. I did not think we would get to. It makes me think of like my wife and I. We stayed at a hotel on a trip, and the restroom in there, like for the shower, just had 6 gigantic mirrors, and there was just one of those like, I'm gonna shower with the lights off. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the switch.
Yes. We were in one of those when we went to the Alamo Bowl one year in San Antonio. And we were all very nervous. There was just something not right. There was a big, tall mirror directly across from the toilet.
Yeah.
And we were like, why would you put a mirror there?
Yeah.
Why? You think it's bad enough looking at yourself while you're lifting weights?
Oh yeah.
Nobody wants to look at yourself do that.
That's a whole nother level.
We're all like, we're going to end up on some movie on the interwebs.
Just double checking. This is two-way.
Right.
Knocking on it. What are you doing? I'm just double checking before I use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets to our no diggity situation of the day. Mirrors are the worst part of the gym.
No, it's the weights that you have to lift. I don't think I would hate the mirrors so much if I didn't have to lift the weights.
Yeah.
Do
Jackson.
I look bigger today, Clint?
Yeah, you do. Look pumped, man.
Sure.
You're at a Jorgen status.
Dorkin.
Jamie Linton, here to lift that. Lift all the weights. Buns and thighs, yeah. Yami was just walking through pumping his chest today. Like, you should have seen it. I hit a tennis ball through a kid today. I hit it so hard. It was like a rock through paper.
Yeah, well, she had it coming.
Oh, Yami.
How dare you drop shot to my forehand?
That was her fatal mistake.
Yes.
Her fate was sealed. How did we get here, people? We've done it. We've done it once again. Jackson, how are your gym experiences? Because they have to be more pleasant than ours.
Yeah, mine are pretty normal, I guess.
It does not appear to me that is it's much of a struggle for him as it is me personally. You like the mirrors, don't you?
A lot more when I was actually playing football, but I still don't mind them because I actually do use them to like check my form because I do a lot of free weight stuff.
Okay. Yes, guy. This guy.
This guy. What's your go-to? Like, what's your favorite lift? Seem like a deadlift guy.
Can of Mountain Dew.
Forklift.
I like to squat. I don't like deadlifting.
So it's leg day every day.
Every day.
Yeah, that's right. We're just all just a trio of swolverinos. Swolverines is what we're called. It's the bottom line of 100.7 The Score.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.